Hey, real estate agents, welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host and producer of the show, Joey Sampaga. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. How you doing, Jeff?
Doing great, man. It's a new year, and we've got a couple guests in the house here that are going to share a topic that we really haven't had somebody on to really discuss much, at least for the last couple of years anyway, and that's VA. We're going to dive into it really deep and cover a lot of things. So we've got with us Jessica Benevento, loan officer with Movement Mortgage, and Mark Hicks, realtor with Go Arizona Homes. How you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, good.
We're good.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being in here. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to learning some things because I haven't had a lot of experience with working with veterans and the whole VA process. So why don't we first start with each of you introducing yourselves as far as how long you've been in the business and what got you into it?
Okay. Let me go first.
Yeah, go ahead and go for it.
All right. So Jessica with Movement. Let's see. I got into this about 2.5 years ago. My husband's been in the business for over 20 years. And during the pandemic, just watching him, all being home together, actually not watching, listening to him talk to borrowers and, go through the day and day, I was like, gosh, I totally could do this. I'd probably do it better. So it just enticed me. I'm like, we're home. The kids are home. My father-in-law was there and I just grinded, did my hours and studied and became a loan officer. And first I was my husband's assistant, and that lasted probably 3 weeks. It was torturous. I was like, no way. And then I'm on his team, but I went on my own, and it's just been super cool. I mean, every transaction is completely different. And I have to say the great easy ones are amazing, but the really problem child ones have just enhanced my knowledge of the business. So it's been fun. And I get to meet amazing realtor partners
There you go.
to, kind of do this together. It's all about, who's surrounding you during this process. So it's been fun. Yeah.
So what percent, Jessica, do you think are the easy loans versus the not so easy loans?
Oh, like 3. They're all so hard. But again, it's, I was fortunate enough, this company, my husband's worked for a few different brokerages. And, this one in particular, you really are, it's a huge support. Everything's in-house. So that makes such a big difference from talking to other people through, in this industry, to have people that support you and that you could call. I could directly call my underwriter, my processor, I could take it to the top if we needed to. That's really, really important when you have support around you. So
Definitely.
it's super cool.
Yeah.
All right,
And
how about you, Mark?
yeah, so I'm Mark Hicks with Go Arizona Homes. I'm actually really green. I actually just got my license about halfway through last year. Crazy time to kind of get into real estate. And this year has been starting off really good. I spent most of last year just trying to get my name out there, network with awesome people, and really have just been saying yes as much as I can to try to network, and just even if it's just doing things for free out of the kindness of my heart, I'm all about it. I'm just on that hustle game right now. So as far as why I got into real estate, I was actually deployed last year. Overseas. I bought in 2 homes over the past, since 2017, I bought my first home, and then I bought another one last year. And man, it's just been the best investment of my life. Such an awesome and exciting time to get into homes and watch how much money you just accumulate through equity. And just the feeling of getting those keys is one of those things I always stress to people. I'm like, it's such a magical feeling. And to be able to offer and do that and provide that to other people and buyers, something I really wanted to do. So while I was overseas deployed, and my free time, I was studying real estate, and then I came back home and got licensed. So looking forward to a really good 2023. Already got one deal under contract right now that we're working on right now with Jess. So man, it's been a good start. Super excited.
That's awesome.
And
that's awesome. A lot of people got into the business over the last 2 to 3 years too. So what advice would you give if somebody is, let's say they started, at the beginning of last year as well, and they're in this kind of struggle right now, right? Because we've seen, obviously, the number of transactions have dropped off a lot in the last few months. So what would you tell newer people right now to be doing to try to build that business up this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the biggest thing I think right now, you have to differentiate yourself from the competition, right? There's so many real estate agents that you could choose. You talk to your friends, even I've had this. It's like, I'm telling everyone I'm a real estate agent. You're going to get pushback occasionally where people are like, well, everyone knows a real estate agent. So what makes you different? And really, I think the big thing right now is just going out and if somebody wants to look at a house, even if they're not pre-qualified, and I'm probably going to get, watch the comments on this because I've talked to people that are in the game. My mom's been in the real estate game for a long time, and she'd probably be like, I don't agree with you. But truthfully, I think you need to do things without expectation sometimes of it necessarily turning into a payday. So I like to say plant your seeds and, water those seeds and watch them transform into flowers over time. So my big thing is trying to help out anywhere I can. I've been lucky enough to meet some amazing people at security that have connected me with other agents to where I've helped out with showings. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying to hustle where I can, meet more people, I'm not scared to show people houses if they're not pre-qualified, because I just want to have that conversation and let you know who I am. That way, when you do decide, because obviously it's been a crazy couple of years. Interest rates are still pretty high. There's more people that are now, it seems like, getting into wanting to buy right now. But the biggest thing is if you do those things out of the kindness of your heart, that's going to put you above the rest versus somebody that's maybe been in the game longer. So yeah, I think that's my advice.
Yeah, but that's definitely awesome. Being different.
Yeah,
because I would say 99% or 90% of the agents are probably like, no, you got to qualify before you buy.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I think if you're super busy, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Time is money. It really is. So, but if you're just starting out, you can't be scared to get your hands dirty and just do things.
That's a good point.
Because if you're not doing things, you're not going to progress and you're not going to grow. So, good caveat. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you brought up Security Title Agency, so I want a big shout out to them and Fidelity National Home Warranty for sponsoring the show, and Sherry Griffin and Sarah Zakola for getting you both on here. So I hear that they are an amazing team.
Yes. Yeah, awesome. They're great.
Cool. Yeah, no, they're amazing people. I think Sarah's there, right? She doesn't want to get on camera though.
This office, so.
Yeah. No, we tried.
All right. You'll have to.
You guys talk.
All right. No, that's awesome. So why don't we get into the topic then? I know you've kind of got some things you want to share about VA, so let's jump right into that.
Yeah, so we came on today. Me and Jess were kind of bumping heads. As I said earlier, I came back from a deployment last year. I got to use my first VA home loan while I was overseas to get this last home at a beautiful 2.6% interest rate, which, in hindsight, sounds crazy now.
Right.
But still, there's so many good benefits. And I think, you guys can all probably agree. The market right now, while it's pretty balanced, at least over here in Phoenix, there's a lot of opportunity for buyers. If you are out there, the deal we're working on right now, we have concessions that we got, and most people are getting concessions on opportunities. But if you have a VA loan, the benefits of that is, you can waive PMI, you have a lower interest rate that you're guaranteed for.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many benefits, and we just kind of want to discuss just that, put out more information for veterans out there or people that may be serving that aren't even aware that they're eligible for this amazing opportunity. So, Jess, you have anything to add to that you want to?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's just getting it out there because people don't know what they don't know. I'm sure when, people are surveying, when you were serving, I'm sure people, no one came in and said, hey, you have a benefit, as like no one talks about it. Right. So who knows where they're getting information from, but yeah, just putting it out there. And the same goes for, first time home buyers, people really not knowing that they can buy. I mean, you really just need a couple things and you can purchase. So yeah, I think us coming together and just spreading the word and getting it out there, of all the amazing benefits. And even, he's like, we talked about coming in and I was like, I got to refresh all, because there's a lot to VA loans. And I was actually watching a VA 101 from Movement Mortgage. And I'm like, oh, I forgot about that. So I wrote notes. I'm like, this is good. It was a refresher for me because, I kind of, like I said, I'm surrounded by a rock star team. So I have a couple things that I do, and then I leave it up to my team to get all the things, but I have some good nuggets to kind of share that I totally forgot about. So
Yeah.
it's exciting.
Yeah. So question, Jess,
Yeah.
if I'm a veteran and I want to buy, so what do I need to do to be eligible? If I want to qualify for a VA loan,
Right.
what would I need to get a VA loan?
So
from a lending perspective,
so a lot of people will say, or you'll see advertisement, doesn't matter credit score. It does. There's definitely, like, for movement mortgage, and it might be different for different lenders, but I know for movement, a 580 is the lowest that, will go for a VA loan. But I mean, you fill out application. The first thing is the certificate of eligibility. So that's what we ask for, because that's going to really paint the picture. So we're going to look at that. And we talked a little bit before off mic, but about that funding fee.
Yeah.
There's a lot of veterans that are exempt from that funding fee. And that's where it's going to show on that certificate of eligibility. So that's, really, really important. That's like the magic paper that you get. And then, they could borrow 100% of which is amazing, because again, I mean, not a lot of people have money to put down on a home, even though, the least amount is 3%. A lot of people don't have that. So knowing that that's a benefit for the veterans is huge. So they could borrow up to 100%. That mortgage insurance, we were saying, mortgage insurance, if your credit isn't spectacular, that mortgage insurance could be like 280, 380. I mean, a lot of money a month. And that's huge. We as lenders waive our fees. Our flat fee is $13.95 for doing a loan. So that's waived. I mean, there's a significant amount of benefits.
Yeah.
So
no, that's a good point. And I know too, the beautiful thing, like in Arizona, if you have 10% disability, any service connected disability, you can waive that funding fee.
Yeah.
Which when I bought my house, I paid, I think the loan was $350-ish. And my funding fee, even though we put close to, I think 10% down, was still $13,000. So to think, if you are a veteran that has any service disability up to 10%, that funding fee, non-existent. It's gone. It's waived for you. So think about that. That's a huge savings, and something, again, I don't think a lot of people are aware of, because I know, the biggest thing when I served is we always talk about, and the best advice we get from all of our leaders and leadership is always report any issues that are going on with your body, because everyone pays the price. When you're serving, you really do throw your body around. You're around a lot of potentially hazardous environments. So there's definitely that benefit if you can get that actual funding fee waived, and you do the paperwork. Don't be scared to say you're hurt. So to all you veterans out there, funding fee waived. Think about that.
That's a huge. So the funding fee updated the first time. If you don't have a waived funding fee, it's 2.3% of that loan. Okay. And then the second time to use it is 3.6%. So I did a refi, 8 or 9 months ago for a veteran, and it was their second. So it was 3.6, and it was like on a $680,000. I mean, it was a lot. And the wife, who they were in Russia, and the wife was like, my husband was like, ask him if he didn't have any injuries, and she goes, he actually jumped out of a helicopter and broke his leg and didn't report it because he was too proud. I'm like, idiot, save so much money. Like, what's wrong with you? Don't be so damn proud.
No, I think that's starting to change, and there's a lot of culture change from my time in the military, where it's always important to report anything that's going on with you, because, like I said, all the brave women and men that serve, you are paying the ultimate price at the end of the day. You're going to come out. You might have ringing in your ears. You might have banged up knees and elbows and lower back issues. So always make sure you do your due diligence on your part. Report anything. You're not going to get kicked out unless it's something. If you are, I should say, if it's something significant, well, guess what? You probably shouldn't be putting yourself in harm's way anyway. You might be a detriment to your team. So, but regardless of all that, so many good benefits in regards to that. And we could also talk about too conforming loans, because you mentioned that somebody else taking out another loan when they did that refi. It's their second time they had that second funding fee. That's changed this year as far as if you already have a VA loan used, that the amount that you can now borrow, because we should clarify there is no amount, right? As far as the limit on loans, correct? If you get a VA loan?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unlimited. Yeah.
So if you have a secondary loan though, so say I have a loan out currently, that's a VA, that's $300,000 and I want to get a second VA loan, what would my limit be?
I think it's still right.
No. So actually this is good too, because there's
Okay,
actually
'cause I don't know this.
yeah, there's conforming loan limits. They used to be, so if I were to get a conforming loan, it used to be $647,000. So
Right.
if I had a $300,000 loan, I could get a VA loan up to another 347 without having to pay or put anything down. So that has actually increased in 2023. That 647 has gone up to 723. So I mean, we're talking.
Oh, wait, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're
doing VA specific. Okay.
yeah. So now you can borrow, close to almost another 80K at your disposal, which is huge. Especially in my boat now, where I'm like,
Mhm.
I have a $300,000 home. I could use another VA without having to put anything down.
Right.
So another pro tip: if you have a VA loan, you can get a conforming loan in addition to the original one, and potentially borrow more and accumulate more wealth without having to put more money down. So yeah.
And then here's something that people don't know, and I come across this also. So for VA loans, you could only do it. Occupancy can only be primary or secondary. So can't do any investments.
Yeah.
Because that's something that, a lot of people will ask about. I'm like, unfortunately, no, but that's something that people need to know as well.
Yeah. They're pretty strict
Right.
as far as that. But, most people, as far as veterans, I think, don't even have primary homes. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to try to don't be scared to get into the game. Your bar of entry is better than anybody out there that isn't wearing the uniform or hasn't put the time in. So yeah. Good information.
Mm-hmm.
So the funding fee, if somebody does still have to pay that can be financed into the loan. Is that right?
Yeah. So that rolls right into the loan. And that's something that's super, super, super important too. Once you see that certificate of eligibility, if they are not exempt and they have a funding fee, that is the first thing I let the borrowers know. Listen, you're going to see, before you even sign anything, just so you know, this is a percentage. It's going to get rolled in. It's not out of pocket, but just so you know, because there's a lot of times that people will be like, I never even knew of it. And I get the loan estimate and my, loan amount is higher than the purchase price. And how the hell did that happen? But, we roll that in, which again is good because at least you're not paying out of pocket. But yeah, that's something that's super important that I let people know right off the bat once I see that certificate, that it's going to get rolled in there.
So there's no real max on the loan amount necessarily. So
Correct.
Then it's just going to be based on debt to income ratio, I guess.
There's no debt to income. So it's 100%. So typically, there'd have to be a DTI of, 97%. Oh no, I'm saying loan to value. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not LTV. Yeah.
Yes. You know what? Debt to income. Loan
I would
to
assume 42, 45, something like that.
41.9, like it's something weird. It's something like a weird number. But yeah, I would say not to exceed 40%. I get something.
So as long as the income is there, I mean,
correct.
Yeah.
The limit, there's no limit on the actual loan size.
Yes. Which is amazing. And again, that's something that people really don't realize.
No.
Yeah.
No. And to kind of go, I guess we can go back a little bit to the actual limits that you have if you have a conforming loan. You also have the ability to borrow above that still. You just have to put a down payment down. And I believe it's like 12.5% or something. So if you exceed that payment of the 723, you want to get an additional loan, and maybe you're borrowing, I don't know, 50K extra on top of that. You're just going to have to put a percentage. I think it's like 12.5% down. So, I mean, realistically, you can still put a smaller payment down, a down payment, even if you're above that, if you need to go above that, because obviously house prices have raised. So depending on what your loan is, you might need to, and you can get a lower interest rate. So good, more information out there. Just another little nugget. when it comes to VAs, because there's just so many benefits I think that so many veterans don't realize they have access to. And there's so many intricacies within these loans where you can make them go further. Like you can use a VA home loan on a duplex as your primary, which is a crazy cash and to immediately cash flow something.
Right.
You could buy a duplex and have renters and call that your primary and have a really low interest rate compared to the rest of the people. So that's kind of amazing. There's just so many different avenues you could really take this if you want to. It just depends what's right for you.
So going to that too with interest rates, like, so we waive that $13.95, right? That's our standard like fee. We're waiving that, and then they're getting better interest rates as well. Say they'd get a better, maybe a quarter or, an eighth. It typically would cost another $2,000, right? So there, that's saving so much money. It's just, it's really cool what we're giving back, which I think is amazing.
Yeah. I think we can't hear you. We might have lost you.
Is that better?
Yeah. Now we got you.
Oh, there I am. I think I'm accidentally hit the mute button right there.
No worries.
No, I was going to say thank you for your service.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, and so Mark, being a veteran, are you part of groups in the Phoenix area? I mean, to help get the word out that you're a realtor now too, right? Do you have ways of connecting with other veterans?
Yeah. So, fortunately, I served in the Army National Guard. So I'm still a part of that community. All the people I deployed with, still keep in touch with all of them. But I'm lucky too. My dad actually served. So come from a family of people that have served in the military. He currently works at the VA. So we do a bunch of things. He always every year has the foundation for blind children. Cause my dad is fully blind. So, he helps rehabilitate blind veterans. And I always support his groups. And we're talking about doing this year, running a marathon together and, supporting troops up in Michigan. So as far as branding, I haven't had the opportunity this year just because the events haven't come along, but for sure, I'm definitely going to get my name in the community. And I know my dad is already, I'm telling everybody in my family, hey, let everybody know I'm going to take care of them. So they're going through their channels too. And it's so far, like I said, it's been pretty good. I've gotten a lot of leads to start this year. And I'm thinking 2023 is going to be my year. So I'm just keeping that positive energy going and, tell myself, I'm like, it's going to be my year. It's going to be my year.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I think we just have to think that way no matter what, right? I mean, no matter what happens with 2023, I know there's a lot of talk of recession and things like that, but I think your outcome is what you put into it. So
yeah, and people, naturally, I've also worked in professional corporate America for a while too, while I was in the reserve. So, I've learned a lot in my time that transfers, I think, over to real estate. And, you really are as powerful as your circle. So meeting people, being kind to people, like I said, not always doing things necessarily expecting, some kind of return. Like we don't just being a good person and having good energy. People want to gravitate towards that and they want to be around you. So I think that's my big thing is I'm just trying to be this beacon of light, even through dark times. If we are in dark times, because, we got that CPI report today, guys. I'm sure you saw that, but inflation's cooling off. So I think we're heading to the brighter side of things. So yeah, either way, you gotta stay even keeled and stay positive, because why would you want to be negative in a world full of things that you could be negative about when there's so much good that's going on too? So
absolutely.
I gotta see
anything else that you guys
him more. You're so positive. I love it. Because I could go. I mean, I'm like a chameleon. I could go
Ebbs
and then
flows.
yeah. And I guess it's like you said, it's the circle around you, and just always surrounding yourself with smarter and hungrier people is just the way you're going to continuously scale.
Yeah. And even just having humility, because nobody knows everything.
Right.
Like you said, you have a great team around you. So even me, I'm getting into this. I'm not going to know everything. And the truth is none of us know everything.
Right.
But I want to be confident that, hey, I don't know everything, but I have a team around me that does, or at least can get you the answer to your question and get us out of the situation.
Right.
And I feel like I'm at least built that this far. So I feel like I got a really good team around me. So there's no reason to not be positive and be confident, because we can get through anything and help anyone. So yeah, I think that's the biggest thing, is just building your network. Your network really is who you are. And just keep the positive vibes going 2023.
Oh, that's awesome.
Love it.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Thanks so much for sharing that, for sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, if you guys don't have anything else to share about VA, we'll jump into the ring with some rapid fire if you're ready.
Yeah, no.
Cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. Here we go. How about your favorite activity outside of work?
I know yours.
Yeah, what is it?
Running.
Yeah.
Is it running?
Yeah. I'm looking, I'm like, God, I need to do something.
Yeah, no. I got into running really, really big this year.
How old are you, Mark?
I'm 29.
Okay.
So about
Running's still okay at 29.
Hey, I don't know. I got really into long distance running this year. Believe it or not, I was like 30 pounds heavier, but I came back from overseas, just, dirty bulking and just lifting weights. Like, I felt like I was the Hulk, but now I look at those photos, I'm like, dude, was I fat?
Right.
No, I ran my first marathon. I did the Tucson Marathon a few weeks ago and crushed it for my first time. And yeah, running has just been such a good outlet. I don't know, fitness. I've always been into sports and activities, so I love to move.
Yeah.
All
What about you,
That's
Jess?
awesome. Well, mine is my kids. I mean, they're activities. So they're both into sports. And I just started coaching my daughter's flag football team with my husband. So first practice show, I'm like, all right, I sleep with them, I work with them, and now I'm coaching. Am I out of my mind? Like, I'm definitely getting divorced this year. Like, there's no way. And so that takes up my time, and I love it. I just love seeing my kids compete and be, athletic and competitive, but also be like good sports. Like, that's good sportsmanship is huge, because that really transfers into life. Like, it's just, so that's my family, and, doing fun sports stuff.
Hey, Jeff, what's yours now that you're in Missouri?
What's my what?
What do you like to do outside
Activity.
of work?
Oh, outside of work. Oh gosh, I've been just spending a lot of time with family. And it's hard not to, because, there's 6 adults and 1 granddaughter that all live in the same house right now. So,
Oh my gosh. Great.
that's totally my time outside of
Jeez.
work.
How's that going?
It's good. Yeah. And we got a little snow this morning, so that was kind of cool.
Wow.
Cool.
Yeah, mine as well snowed here today because it was cold.
Yes.
And we're complaining about 50 degrees, 40 degrees.
Babies.
I know. I woke up this morning, I'm like, what is going on?
Fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Joey?
I just remember you asking someone this. What do you like to do outside of work? Work.
Yeah. Seriously.
I like I used to like hiking, but I'm going to like it again. I'm just super out of shape. But then my wife and I would like to go Jeep off-road.
Oh, that's fun. That's so fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
Joey, you have one of those little Barbie Jeeps?
Yes.
I'm just teasing you.
Sure do.
That's awesome.
How about pizza or cheeseburger?
Pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah.
All right. How about Apple or Android?
Apple.
Apple.
All right. How about last one, your favorite superhero
Ooh.
or Avengers character?
I probably have to go with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
I'm the Hulk.
Okay. I like that.
There you go, with the green hat.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Cute. Yeah.
Yeah, the beanie.
Yeah.
I feel the energy today.
Totally. I'm
That's what
Hulking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I thought Mark, I thought you were going to say Captain America.
I mean, wouldn't that be too on brand?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Good one. Good one.
Come on, he's too perfect.
Mhm.
He is.
Yeah.
Making it hard for all of us.
Right.
I remember that scene where they're in the plane and it's oh gosh, Thor and Iron Man jump out of the plane
Yeah.
and he gets ready to go and he's like grabbing a parachute or whatever.
Yeah.
And the lady driving, I don't remember her name, Black Widow. She was like, Cap, you better sit this one out. And he's like, why? Because those guys are basically gods. He goes, there's only one God, ma'am. And I don't think he dresses like that.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It was a good one. Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you guys so much for being in here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys again so much for having us. It's been an honor and yeah, really fun.
Absolutely. Well, and thanks for sharing all the information about VA. I think it's a loan program that I don't think gets enough attention for sure. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely agree.
Absolutely. All right, agents. Until next time, we will see you later.
Yo,
take care.
Take care.
All right, good job.